Hello, and welcome to this crochet tutorial on how to make this rainbow bag. You'll see here that we have rainbow straps to go along with the V-puff stitch along with the double crochet on making this bag. On the sides, you'll see that our straps have self-finishing little streamers, just the ends of the yarn, to add a nice little touch. So come join me as we work together on making this rainbow bag. The materials and the tools that we're going to use to make this rainbow bag: I have a 5mm crochet hook, a large eye tapestry needle, pair of scissors, and for all the colors, I thought I'd show them in a different way. We have blue, green, yellow, purple, orange, red, and black. Black will be the main color of the bag. Let's get started. We're starting off with our black yarn, and since the weight of the majority of the bag is in the bottom section, I'm encouraging you to double your yarn. You can take it from the center pool and from the outside wrap. We're not going to use a whole lot of it because of the other colors that are going to be used as well. So go ahead and start. Make about a 6-inch tail. Let's put a slip knot on our hook. So with the 2 yarns, let's begin with a chain of 30. 1, 2, 3. Continue on till you have 30. Into the second chain from our hook, here we have our first chain, and into our second one, 1 half double crochet. Continue with half double crochet till you get to the end of the chain. Into our last chain, let's add 2 more half double crochets. You can also cover your tail as we go down because we're going to be going the other direction as well. Okay, so in between our stitches, once you take them and separate them, we're going to be placing our half double crochets in between them. If we use just part of the chain, it'll cause it to spread and have an opening. So let's keep on going down in between stitches and place a half double crochet all the way to the end of the row. At the end of the row, into that chain 1 space that we skipped, place 2 half double crochets. Then slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the row and chain 1. I would like for you to take your hook out and look to the back. In the back of these half double crochet stitches, you'll see the chain and then that 1 loop. These right here. We're not picking up the top loop. We're going to go into those back 2 loops and that'll help with the strength in the bag. So in the back of every one of those loops, or these half double crochets, all the way around, place one single crochet, and you'll notice that you'll have a line in the front. That's what we're looking for. So pick up those back 2 loops and complete a single crochet. Continue all the way around and slip stitch into that first single crochet, and then we'll start a new row. For our next row, chain 2, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each one of the stitches. Now you will be going through the top V of the stitch and do half double crochet all the way around. When you get to the end, slip stitch into the first half double crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, and for the next 2 rows we're going to place 1 double crochet in each one of the stitches around. So don't forget, we're going to do double crochet for 2 rows, slip stitch and chain 2 at the end of each row. Now the next thing we're going to do is to determine where we're going to put our V puffs. We're putting 1 on each side. So find your center by taking your work and laying it flat. I suggest you use a stitch marker. Place it in where it lies flat at. Count across and find the center. Mine is 32 across, and this is my center. So I'm going to count over 8 stitches and place my stitch marker. I guess you can tell I've already played with this, so I know where my I know where my marks are. Okay, now if it don't look balanced to you, like I just threw this in here because I did that on purpose, you want to find where there is a balance on this. So if we need to go over 1, and that looks better. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So basically just take this, and you can take that side one out, place it in the same stitch across from our stitch marker, and these is where our V stitches will be going. So let's go ahead and place our purple on our hook. We're going to use 2 strands as we did in our bag. So we're going to start here on the side where we finished. We're going to come over a couple of stitches, and we're going to start with a standing double crochet. So to do that, place your finger on your loops, yarn over. This will help control everything. Go ahead and insert it through the top stitch, yarn over through 2. Remember, see, I'm still keeping my finger on that top loop. Correct the tension here on your stitch halfway and pull through the last 2. Okay, that was a standing double crochet. So let's double crochet here's where our first V-stitch is going to go. So we want to count back 2. So this is where we want to stop with our double crochets. I got 2 more to do. Okay, we will not do a chain stitch before we do our V-stitch puff. So we're going to skip these 2 stitches. In this one, I'm going to take my stitch marker out. So yarn over, insert that hook, pull up a loop, and then stretch. Don't put tension on it yet. Stretch it so that it's all the same across. And then yarn over, go back through the same loop, and pull it up again. Okay, that's our second one. Let's do it one more time. So yarn over. Notice how my finger is helping with these loops on our hook. Okay, so we have 3. Yarn over. Now aim your hook down, and at the same time pinch the bottom, pull it down, and take the hook and push up. And that's how you make it so it doesn't snag. Okay, after we've gone through all of those, we're going to chain 1 to close it, and then see how it fits across there, and then let's chain 2. All right, let's do it another puff in this tiny little space. So let's slide our stitches over. Let's do it one more time. Okay, raise it up, yarn over, bring up another loop, raise it up, yarn over, one more time. Okay, so yarn over, aim your hook down and pinch the bottom and through all those loops. Okay, chain 1 to close it. So here's what we have so far. I notice my purple looks like blue on the camera. Okay, so after we've complete this, we want to count over 2. So in our third one, we're going to place our double crochet. And what that's going to do is it's going to stretch that V puff across so that we have this design. Okay, so let's double crochet up to 2 stitches before. So we're going to stop. So here's our stitch right here. We got 1, 2. So we're going to stop 2 stitches before that. So I'm going to meet you there. So go ahead and double crochet up to that point. So here I've stopped 2 stitches to where my V puff is supposed to go. So let's remove our stitch marker. Yarn over, skip those 2, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull up another loop, and one more time. And then bring it all through, chain 1 to close, and chain 2. One more time. And chain 1 to close. Okay, skip 2 and double crochet in the next. Okay, so here's what our first row will look like. I'm encouraging you to go around. remember to stop your double crochets 2 stitches before where your stitch marker is. That's where your V-stitch goes. Continue on, stop 2 stitches, V-stitch, skip 2 stitches, and come on around, and I'll meet you when we slip stitch to close this row off. After our slip stitch, let's chain 1 and then half double crochet in each stitch up to our puff. Okay, so here's our last stitch right here. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and jump all the way across. We're going to come over here to our next double crochet and place a half double crochet into that stitch. Okay, so when we come through with our puff for our next row, this will all clamp down. Okay, so half double crochet across until you come to this last one right here. As before, let's chain 5, skip over all of this, and half double crochet in that double crochet of the previous row. Okay, so this is what we have. Continue all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. At the end of the row, slip stitch into that chain 1, snug it up. Let's go ahead and cut our yarn. And pull it through. Let's go ahead and get our next color, which is blue, and we're going to do this row again and this row, and I'm going to show you how to go over these puffs. So with our next color on our hook, I'm going to come back a little bit, and I'm going to start with a standing double crochet, and we're going to double crochet up to where our last double crochet or half double crochet from the previous row is. And here's my last one. Okay, so what we're going to do here is yarn over, and we're going to go into the opening where our puff is from the previous row, and then we're going to go under everything. Okay, so you see how we went over the chain and over the chain from the puff row, and pull up a loop. Okay, here we go for our second one. Make your loops the same height, and here's for our third one. Okay, pinch it, hook down, pull up, and pull through all. Chain 1 to close, and chain 2. Let's do one more puff in the same spot. So there's 1, and there's 2, and 3. Pinch it, hook down, push up, chain 1, close. Okay, and then double crochet in the half double crochet, which is above the double crochet of that previous row. So what I've just showed you, we're going to do this puff row and this half double crochet row with the chain 5s in the next few colors. So we will have, oops, green is our next color, then yellow, then orange, and then red. So continue to do these 2 rows with the next set of colors, and I'll meet you when you're finished. Please pause your video. And this is what we have after completing the 6 colors. So we're going to do black next. Go ahead and place a slip knot on your hook with double yarn. So we're going to start with a standing double crochet, and we're going to place 1 more row of puff, or the V-stitch puff, and it will only be for this row so that we can get a balance with our colors. So once we get up to our puff, go ahead and do 1 puff, double crochet around, 1 puff. When you get to the end of the row, I'll meet you there, and we'll have 2 more rows of just plain double crochet, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's slip stitch into that standing double crochet, chain 2. We're going to start with our double crochet on this row. Now I'm going to show you how many double crochets we're going to be placing over our V puff stitch. I tried doing it in the black. My hair is long, sorry. I tried doing it in the black over the red, and that's the reason why I decided to do a puff stitch. So we have our first stitch right here on the edge. Let's go ahead and place a stitch in there. I couldn't get the colors in the red to do very well. That's the reason why I encourage the V-stitch puff in black. Okay, so we have 1 here. Now over our chain 2, 3 double crochets. Okay, this open at the top of the puff, here's our puff. So in that top one, let's go ahead and place 1 there. And what we've done was those 5 stitches that we took out from down here at the bottom, we now regained. So we're going to go ahead and keep going around. Once you get to the end, slip stitch and do 1 more row of double crochet, but first continue on and have the 5 added stitches that will go over our puff. Take a few minutes. Please pause your video. So here is the finished look of the bag. Be sure to weave in your end right here, Next, we will start on our strap. Now, do you know that the strap can be any length you would like? It could be a crossbody, it could be a shoulder, it could be just one for your arm. So let's get started on that. So to begin this strap, we're going to start with a tail that we can use to sew on to our bag. Let's place a slip knot on our hook, and I am going to chain 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue on until you have 50 or the length that you would like. After we've made our chain, let's go ahead and skip our first chain, and in our second one, place a single crochet. Single crochet in each of our chains all the way down to the beginning. At the end of the row, we're going to do a color change. So here I have my purple. I have a short tail, and place it on my hook and bring it through that last loop. I'm going to take the black, cinch it down, and chain 1. Turn my work. Let me get all this other stuff out of the way. And then single crochet in each stitch across. You're going to be doing this for the next 5 colors, and then our last row will be black. So continue to do this. Finish each row the same way I showed you with the chain and pulling it down. And then the very last row of black, I'm going to show you how to finish this strap. So just do the 6 total colors, and then on the black, I'm going to show you how to finish that row. Isn't this pretty so far? All right, so after completing the red, we're going to join our black again. And we're just going to go down to the other end. When you are complete, make sure you leave a tail this long, like you did on the other side, so that we can sew it in. Don't cut any of these tails yet. I think we should use them as decoration. So let's continue on with our last row of single crochet, and I'll meet you at the other end. The colors sure look vibrant, don't they? Now, before we move on, we have this side here that doesn't have a strand hanging down. I decided I would like to have the strands hanging down. So I'm going to insert the black into this area here. I'm going to leave it about the same length as everybody else. Tie a square knot. Then I'm going to take the other end and weave it in so that it will go away. On this end, we're going to use some of this, what's left over after we sew this part onto our bag, as some of the dangling yarn for the other side. So let's line up our bag. Here we have our center, and here's our side. We're going to take this and bring it in between our V puffs in the middle. With our tapestry needle, go ahead and thread your needle go up and down. We're going to go across. Okay, we're going to make like a big square right here. We're just going to do a basic running stitch. So when you go this way, we're going to pick up and then just go over the next stitch, over, over, over till you get to here, and we'll do the same thing. So all we're doing is a square in a running stitch. Go ahead and do that. Remember to have, when you stop here, have some hanging down, and then sew on the other side. So with our straps sewn on, here is our finished bag. I hope you enjoyed this project. I really like the coloring on it, a rainbow bag. So I hope you come back and join me again for another crochet tutorial. My name is Garnet, and I appreciate having you here with me at this time. So until next time, bye-bye.